way it is. And what a boring book this is. It has no pictures. And what's the use of a book like that? Hot days make me feel stupid. Though I'm considered very bright for my age, everyone says so.
Oh dear, I'm going to be late. Oh, won't the Duchess be furious if I've kept her waiting? I'm supposed to escort her to the palace garden for the Queen of Hearts croquet tournament. If I'm late for that, the Queen is bound to chop off my head. That's the penalty for being late.
Oh, my dear. I've seen quite a few rabbits in my time, but never one to have a watch around his neck. He must have gone down that rabbit hole. Quite a large rabbit hole. Big enough for me. I'll risk it. Yes, Your Majesty.
Hold your tongue! I am a hungry hyena, and you are a bird.
I beg your royal pardon.
Better! Come to my garden this afternoon and play croquet. Mind your manners when you get there, and don't be late, or you'll be punished. Tally-ho! Off with their heads!
She told me to mind my temper.
Off with their heads, I
Oh, how very curious everything is today. Oh, there's that Miss Rabbit again. Mr. Rabbit!
Oh, it's you again. You met the Queen of Hearts, have you? I'll wager you're sorry nothing followed me here. She asked you to play croquet?
Oh, yes, and very discourteously.
I should know about you. It's very dangerous to play games with Her Majesty.
But she said she'd punish me severely if I didn't go.
She will. Her Majesty has a dreadful temper.
Off with their heads!
Oh, well, she told me not to be late, but she never told me what time to arrive.
Get there as soon as you can. The Queen will decide for herself whether you're late or not.
Oh, well, I should start crying any minute. Would you please?
No time, no time. Oh, will the Duchess be savage if I've kept her waiting? No time, no time, no time.
Oh, sir, drop your gloves. Oh, stop crying. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. A big girl like you. You were just as usual yesterday. You must have changed during the night. If I'm not who I was, then who am I? Oh, I know. I shall try to recite a poem I used to know. How doth thy little crocodile improves his shining tail and pour the waters up the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little fishies in his gently smiling jaws. Oh, that's not right. Oh, it's getting so slippery underfoot. I'll be waiting in a pile of tears in no time. Oh, help, someone help me. Help, I'm drowning, help! Oh, stop, please. Oh, Mr. Mouse, could you please tell me how to get out of this pond? Oh, you're not listening. Oh, I know. I shall call the cat. Oh, cat! Oh, I beg your pardon.
Would you like cats if you were me?
Well, you really should meet Dinah. She is such a nice cat, and she's really good at catching mice. Oh, I'm sorry.
We indeed. As if I would talk on such a subject. My family always hated cats. Nasty, low, vulgar things.
Oh, well, are you very fond of dogs? Oh, well, there's a nice dog in my neighborhood, and the farmer says that he's really good at catching rats. Oh, wait, please don't come away. Come back. We won't talk about cats or dogs anymore.
Let's get back to the shore. Then I'll tell you my history. You'll understand why I hate cats and dogs.
You promised to tell me your history. You know, why you hate C's and D's?
My history is a long and sad tale.
Well, I can see why it's long. But why is it sad?
We live beneath the mat, warm and snug and fat. But one woe in that was a cat. Her joys across
Dinah were here, she'd take the cat back. I think she's the best cat in the world. And she's such a capital cat for catching mice. Dinah, I wonder if I'll ever see you again without hitting my head. Oh, someone's coming. I wonder if it's the mouse to finish his story.
The Duchess! The Duchess! Oh, my dear paws! Oh, my thin whiskers! I'm going to be executed as sure as carrots are carrots! Where could I drop them? Where are they? Where are they? God help this man and fetch me a pair of gloves. Quick now!
Wait! I have your gloves right here. If only I knew what you were looking for.
Who are you?
Oh, well, I hardly know who I am. Because I keep changing.
Explain yourself.
Well, I can't explain myself if I'm not myself. You see?
I don't see you.
Well, being in so many different places is very confusing. And being two different sizes is bewildering. Is that any clearer?
Not a bit. Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are.
Why? Come back. I have something important to say. Mind your temper.
Is that all?
No. So, you think you changed, do you?
Yes. I can't remember things as I used to.
Can't remember what things.
Well, I tried to recite How Doth Thy Busy Bee, but came out all wrong.
Repeat your old Father Pilgrim.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has grown very white. And yet you incessantly stand on your head. At your age, do you think this is right? In my youth, Father William replied, I feared you would injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, I do it again and again. You are old, Father William, and one would hardly suppose that your eyes were as good as ever, yet you balance an eel on the end of your nose. Now what made you so awfully clever? I've answered one question, and that is enough, said the father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Now go on, or I'll kick you down the stairs.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid.
It is wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
Well, I should be a few feet taller. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed.
Well, I'm not used to it.
Whether you wish to grow smaller or taller, just break off a piece of the edge.
The edge of what?
The edge of the mushroom. It's a magic mushroom. Do as I say, girl.
This will make me grow bigger or smaller.
Whichever you like. Just nibble and wish.
Just nibble, wish.
Not now.
play croquet. Why are you laughing at me?
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Not if you ever want to go home.
Well, why do you say that?
Many who go to the palace never go home at all. They lose their heads over it.
I
Oh, you'll be accused of something before the day is out. Mark my word. Let me give you some advice before you go.
Thank you.
When the time comes, choose your wish. Choose your wish, my girl.
There's nothing. An invitation from the Queen of Hearts to play croquet.
From the Queen of Hearts, invitation for the Duchess to play croquet. Croquet. An invitation to heading what that means.
Oh,
There's no sort of use in knocking, and that's for two reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, they're making such a noise in there no one could possibly hear you.
but how am I to get in?
There might be some sense in your knocking if there was a door between us. For instance, if you were inside, you might knock. I could let you out, you know?
But how am I to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question, you know?
Oh, it's so dreadful how these creatures argue. It's enough to drive one mad.
I shall sit here on and off for days and days.
But what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Oh, there's no use in talking to him. I shall have to go around to the back. Oh, there's far too much pepper in that soup. Achoo! Could you tell me why your cat grins like that?
It's a Cheshire cat, that's why. Have you never heard the expression grinning like a Cheshire cat?
Well, I didn't know cats could grin.
They all can, and they all do.
Well, I don't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Little pig, take that and that, you stupid pig. Must you hate your baby like that?
Yes,
Take that and that. Oh. I wish your coat wouldn't throw around your place like that. It might hit the baby's precious nose.
not your business. If everybody just minded their own business, this world would go around a deal faster.
Well, no, it wouldn't, because the Earth takes 24 hours to turn on its axis.
Talking of axes, chop off her head.
Or is it 12?
Oh, don't bother me. I never liked arithmetic. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Wow, wow, wow. I speak seriously to my little boy and I'll beat him when he sneezes so he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when it pleases. Wow, wow, wow.
May I ask you a question, Your Grace?
You never stop asking questions.
Are you going to the palace to play croquet?
I've been invited.
Oh, so am I. And I was wondering if I could go with you.
The White Rabbit is called for me. You'll have to find your own escort. Little pig, here. You can nurse a bit if you like. There you are, Rabbit. And about time, too.
I beg your pardon, Your Grace. I was delayed.
You always are.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit, can I please come with you? I'm scared to go to the palace alone.
Better not go at all.
The Duchess is right, my dear. You see, the Queen of Hearts is already very angry with both of us. And if she sees you two, no good will come of it.
Oh, but what am I to do?
Attend some
after it, they're sure to ruin it. Oh, don't grunt. That is not a proper way for a baby to express itself. Now, if you're going to act like a pig, I will have nothing to do with you. It is a pig! Oh, it would have made a dreadfully ugly baby, but I think it'll make a pretty handsome pig. Oh, it's getting so dark out.
Meow. Meow.
Oh, Pussycat, they wouldn't take me with them to the palace. Could you tell me which way to go?
That depends on where you want to go.
Oh, I don't care where,
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
but I need to go somewhere.
You're sure to do that, if only you walk long enough.
Well, what sort of people live here?
To the east lives a Mad Hatter. To the west, a Mad March Hare. Visit either you like.
Well, I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad.
Now, how do you know I'm mad?
You must be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
What a curious country.
Perfectly true. No one you meet here is quite what he seems. Even to himself. It's why they call it Wonderland.
Well, it's such a frightening place.
Nobody will harm you.
Truly?
Yes, truly. Except, of course, the Queen of Hearts. She's the most bloodthirsty monarch to ever live. Make an enemy of her, and you're doomed.
That's what I was afraid of.
Are you really going to the palace?
Well, I may. Or I may not.
If you do go, you may see me there, or you may not. What became of the baby?
It turned into a pig.
I thought so. Did you say pig or fig?
I said pig.
Darn!
And I wish you would stop appearing and vanishing so suddenly.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what a curious cat. Oh, I hear people laughing and cups twinkling. The marcher must be serving tea. Well, I hope he's not raving mad. At least not as mad as he is in March. Since it's May. Oh, how uncomfortable for the poor dormouse. He's asleep, I think.
No! No!
There's plenty of room.
Well, I'm the March Hare, he, the Hatter, and that sleepy thing is the Dormouse. Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very nice of you to offer it.
It wasn't nice of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. And you should learn not to make personal remarks. It's rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I believe I could guess that.
You think you could find out the answer?
Exactly so.
Then why don't you say what you mean?
I do. At least I mean what I say, and that's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. Why, you might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same with you.
What date is it?
The fourth.
2 days wrong. I told you not to stuff butter in the gears!
It was the best butter
to do better things with time than go around wasting it asking riddles that have no answer.
If you knew time as well as I do, you would not talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't understand.
Of course you don't. Well, I dare say you never even spoke to time.
Well, I know you have to beat time when you learn music.
Oh, that accounts for it. He won't stand beating. Now, if you'd only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you liked with a clock. For instance, suppose for time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time. And round goes the clock to 1:30. Time for dinner! Move down!
I only wish it was.
No, it isn't, because then I shouldn't be hungry.
Not at first, perhaps, yes. You could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked.
Is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March just before he went mad. You know, it was at the great Queen of Hearts concert, and I had to sing, Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. You know the poem, perhaps?
Something like it, yes.
It goes on in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle,
Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.
I sang that for a party once, and I had barely made it to the first verse when the queen bawled out, "He's killing time! Off with his head! He's killing time!"
Savage!
Ever since Father Time won't do a thing I ask, it's always 4 o'clock by my watch.
Is that why there's so many teacups?
Yes, it's always tea time. We've no time to wash the cups in between.
So I suppose you just keep moving down.
Exactly so, as things get used up.
But what happens when you get to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject. I hope the young lady tells a story.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the dormouse shall. Wake up, dormouse.
I wasn't asleep.
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Ann Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of the well.
What did they live on?
They lived on maple syrup,
So then they must have been very ill.
so they were very ill.
Have some more tea.
Well, I can't take more because I haven't had any at all.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
And no one asked for your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of the well?
It was a syrup well.
There's no such thing.
If you can't be polite, you better finish the story yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, these 3 little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know.
Oh, what sort of things did they draw?
Maple syrup.
Well, I want to clean cup. Let's all move one place.
Well, where did they get the syrup from? Where did they draw the syrup from?
You can draw water out of a water well, so you think you can draw syrup out of a syrup well. Huh, stupid?
But they were in the well.
Of course they were. Well in. Hey, we're learning to draw. They draw manner of things. Everything that begins with an M.
Well, why with an M?
Why not?
That begins with an M, such as mousetraps and the moon, and memory, and muchness. You know you say things that are much of a muchness? Have you ever seen a sort of drawing of a muchness?
Oh, really? Now you ask me? Well, I don't know.
Then you should not talk about it!
You are much too rude. I should have never taken tea with you. I should have went to the Queen's garden party.
Do you mean to say that you were invited to play croquet?
I was.
And you didn't go.
I haven't yet.
Then you must go. You must go
Don't
now.
wait another second,
Do
Disco!
you know what can happen to
If you
us?
antagonize Her Majesty, heads will roll!
Heads will roll.
Well, how do I get to the
Go
palace?
up the hill till you come to a big mulberry bush.
Then you go round the mulberry bush, you'll see the palace in the royal cocaine
You
room.
can't possibly miss it. Go on, hurry.
Hurry!
Wait,
Let's hurry!
wait.
Hopefully it's gonna chop off my head!
It wasn't my fault. Six struck my elbow. That's right, too. Always like to blame on others. You shouldn't say anything. I heard the queen say you should be beheaded. What for? That's none of your business. It is his business, and I'll tell him. It was for giving this damn tulip to the onion of all the unjust things. Who is she?
Could you please tell me why you're painting those roses?
Why, the fact is, you see this here on the red rose tree, but we threw it right by mistake, and if we were to find out, we all have our heads cut off, you know.
Gain way for Her Majesty! Gain way for the Queen of Hearts!
Who is this? What is your name, child?
My name is Alice, Your Majesty. We met this morning.
Alice, to be sure. And who are these?
How should I know? Is this your croquet garden?
Ah, what the hell I say?
Consider, my dear, she is only a child.
I forgive you on the grounds of you. Turn them over!
Yes, indeed. I mean, yes, Your Royal Majesty.
Get them on their feet, the miserable wretches! Stop that ridiculous babbling! You make me giddy. Now what have you been doing here?
Say it, please, Your Majesty.
Off with their heads! Take them away! Do you play croquet, my dear?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come along then. In my court, we use flamingos for mounts. So amusing, don't you agree?
Is she really going to chop off their heads?
Well, yes. Fine day, isn't it?
I suppose. But where's the Duchess?
She's going to be executed.
Oh, good gracious, what for?
She punched the Queen of Hearts in the nose. Not it. The Queen will hear you. You see, the Duchess was late to the party, and the Queen was furious.
Off with her head!
Oh, good dear.
Off with his head!
Oh, Mr. Rabbit. I must go home. Will you please tell me how?
What a temper! Home? Home? Just ask the Queen. She'll know.
Oh, I don't dare. Your Majesty.
Ask the Duchess. She'll know, but I don't know if she'll tell you. She's too upset about losing her head.
Where is that? I want you!
Coming!
Oh, you can't think I'm glad I miss you again, you old thing. You're thinking again, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't quite think of what the moral of that is, but I shall remember her shortly.
The Queen is going to chop off your head. What's the moral in that?
Tut, tut, child.
experiment? He might bite. Very true. Flamingos and mustard, they both bite. And the moral of that is, birds of a feather will flock together. Except mustard isn't a bird. You're right. What a clear way you just have of putting things. It's a mineral. I think, of course it is. And there's a mineral mine around here. And the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours. I think I'd understand that better if I had it written down. That's nothing to what I could say. But fine day, Your Majesty.
I gave you fair warning. You must get ready for your execution, or I'll cut off your head. Have you met the mock turtle yet?
I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
It's the thing this mock turtle soup is made from. Go along and they'll tell you his story.
Is that the mock turtle?
No, you foolish girl. That is a griffin. Stop, you lazy thing, and take this girl to see the mock turtle. I must go see to the executions.
You heard what her human majesty said. Come on now.
Right. I've never been so happy to leave a place in all of my life. How far is the walk?
Not too much further.
Well, where does he live?
In a forest.
But I thought it was a turtle.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, what does the mock turtle look like?
Ugly.
Oh, the poor thing. But are we almost there?
Quit your talking.
Well, I'm done. I'm tired of walking.
Not much further.
Goodness. Why is he crying?
It's all in his head. Come on. This here young lady wants to hear your stories.
I'll tell her. Sit down and don't speak a word until I'm finished. Once I was a real turtle. When we were little, we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise.
Well, why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one?
We called him Tortoise because he was a teacher and he toured us. Really, you are very dull.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a question.
We went to school in the sea, though you may have believed it.
Well, I never said I did.
You did.
Hold your tongue.
We had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day.
I've been to day school too. You needn't be all proud and all that.
With extras
Yes, French and music.
and washing.
Oh, certainly not.
Ah, then yours wasn't a very good school. Now, at our school, we had French, music, and washing extras.
But you shouldn't need it much, living under the sea.
I couldn't afford to learn it. I had to take the regular course.
And what was that?
Reading and writing, of course, to begin with. And then the different branches of arithmetic. Ambition, distraction, amplification, and division.
I've never heard of amplification.
Never heard of uglification. Surely you know what to beautify is.
Of course I do. It means to make anything prettier.
Then, if you don't know what to uglify is, then you are a simpleton.
How many hours a day did you attend school?
10 hours the first day, 9 the next, and so on.
What a curious plan.
It's why they're called lessons. They lesson from day to day.
So then, the 11th day must have been a holiday?
Of course it was.
Then, how did you manage on the 12th?
Enough. Tell her about the games, will you?
may not have lived much under the sea.
I haven't.
And perhaps you were never introduced to a lobster?
Well, I once tasted... No, never.
Then you have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is.
A quadrille. Isn't that a dance?
Would you like to see a little of it?
Oh, yes, please.
Come, let's dance the lobster quadrille. It can be managed without lobsters, don't you know?
But will the queen allow it?
We won't tell her.
You sing, I forgot the words.
Will you walk a little faster, said a whiting to a snail. There's a porpoise close behind us, and it's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the sheet. Oh, will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, will you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you join the dance? You could really have no notion how delightful it will be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea. The further off from England, the closer 'tis to France. Then turn our pale beloved, still not come and join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not, would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not join the dance.
I like the funny part about the whiting.
Do you know why it's called a whiting?
No,
Because it polishes our boots.
the whiting polishes your boots.
What are yours done with?
Blacking, I believe.
Well, under the sea, all of our boots are polished with whiting. Now you know.
And what are they made of?
Soles and heels, of course. Any shrimp could have told you that.
Now, if I would have been the whiting in the song, I would have told the porpoise to keep back. We don't want you with us.
No wild fish would go anywhere without a porpoise.
Would you really?
Of course not. If a fish came to me and told me he were going on a journey, I would say, with what purpose?
Stop. Would you like to hear another song or do another dance?
Oh, a song, please.
No accounting for personal tastes. Sing her the one about turtle soup, will you?
Soup of the evening, beautiful soup, beautiful soup, beautiful soup, soup of the evening, beautiful soup.
You're under arrest.
I am?
Anything you say will be used against you.
But what am I arrested for?
The neighbor parts, he stole some tarts, and you are suspected of being a necessity after the fact.
But I never met the neighbor parts.
Come along quietly, or you shall be beheaded. March! Hear ye, the trial's beginning, the trial's beginning.
I wish they'd get this trial over with and pass around the tarts. They look delicious. Shh! Silence in the court. I would like to say that I am completely innocent of the charges brought against me. Ah! What the heck I say?
Silence in court.
Harold, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer day. The knave of hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away.
And I had nothing to do with it.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
Then you may call your first witness.
First witness, Mad Hatter, Mad Hatter.
Hurry up! We haven't got all day! I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. It isn't respectable to
Of course, twinkling begins with a T. What do you take me for? A dunce? If that is all, you may stand down.
I can't go any lower. I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may sit down.
I'd rather go home and finish my tea.
You may go.
But mark my words, she is a very peculiar young girl. Just the kind to go around stealing other people's tarts. Suspicious! Very suspicious! She said at home she only helped herself to tarts without permission. I think the girl ought to be in the head unprintable.
Consider your verdict.
There's a great deal to come before that, Your Majesty. I've just been handed this paper. It's a set of verses.
Suspicious!
Is it in the handwriting of either prisoner?
Not mine.
Shall I read it anyways, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning and go on till the end. Then stop.
They told me you'd been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim.
This is the most important piece of evidence we've heard. Let the jury proceed.
If any of the jury could explain it, I'll give them 6 pence. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
She doesn't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
I seem to see some meaning in it. I said I could not swim. Can you swim?
Do I look like I could?
You heard her confess. Consider your verdict.
No, girl! Sentence first, verdict later!
That's illegal. Hold your tongue.
Alice, I said hold your tongue!
I won't.
I said hold your tongue now! I
Won't do it.
Ah, with her head!
Up with the hand!
With her head! With her head!
Up with the hand!
Stop it. Duchess, help.
Be off the
Ah, with her head!
call this a wilderness.
And I was trying to get to the top of that hill.
When you say hill, I've seen hills. In comparison with which you would call that a valley.
No, I wouldn't. Because hills can't be a valley, because that's nonsense.
I've heard nonsense, compared with which that would be as sensible as a dictionary.
This must be Looking Glass then. It's laid out like a giant chessboard, being played all over the world. If it is a world at all. Wait, I remember. If I can cross the chessboard, I can become queen. I can become queen. I can go home.
That's easily managed. Once you reach the 8th square, you'll be a queen. Come along now.
Oh, faster! Faster! Don't try to walk. Faster! Oh, are we nearly there?
Nearly there. Why, we passed it 10 minutes ago. Now faster!
Oh, wait. You mean to say we've been in the same place this whole time?
Of course we have.
In my country, when you run really fast for a really long time, you get somewhere else.
Here, you see, it takes all the running you can do just to stay in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you have to run at least twice as fast as that.
We'll never get home.
Remember, this is Looking Glass. If you hold the word evil up to a mirror, it simply lives spelled backwards.
Yes, you're right.
Cheer up. Take another example. Look at this poetry book.
It's backwards.
Of course it is. You come through the looking glass.
It's called Jabberwocky. The grilling and the slightly toes, the grind and grimble in the wave, omens the word o'er grows, and the moan's wrath outraged. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. And as in the upper stalk he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame, came whistling through the toady wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, and through. The vorpal blade went snicker snack, he left it dead, and with his head, he went galloping back. Doesn't make any sense.
It does to me. Perhaps we should run a little and clear away the cobwebs.
No, thank you. I've done quite enough running. I'm very hot and thirsty.
Well, have a dry biscuit? While you're refreshing yourself, I will just take the measurements. And at the end of 2 yards, I shall give you your directions. Have another biscuit?
No, thank you. One was quite enough.
There's plenty of hope. Oh, I shall pace them before I forget them. 3, 4, and I must say goodbye at the end of 5. Here's how to cross the chessboard. Listen. Upon those 2 squares in the first movement, then you go very quickly through the 3rd square, and you'll find yourself in the 4th square in no time. That square belongs to Tweedledum and Tweedledee. The 5th is mostly water, and the 6th belongs to Humpty Dumpty. You'll have to deal with him however you can. Have nothing to say?
I didn't know I was supposed to say anything.
The 7th is all forest, and in the 8th we'll be queens together. It's all feasting and fun. Off we go!
Oh, she can't run very fast.
Goodbye, my little dear.
a tree. What should we say to her?
The walrus and the carpenter, that's the longest.
Oh, it's very long. Would you please tell me which way to go first?
Sit down and listen.
The walrus and the carpenter were walking on the strand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If the way were clear, they said it would be grand.
Sit down. O oysters, come and walk with us. The walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. If we can do more than four to give a hand to each. Sit down.
Four little oysters hurried up, all eager for a treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because, you know, they hadn't any feet.
Sit down. Four oysters followed them, and yet another four. And thick and fast and came last, and more, all hopping through the frothy waves, barreling to the shore. Sit down.
The walrus and the carpenter walked a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock conveniently low. All the little oysters stood and waited in a row.
Sit down. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings. And why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. Sit down.
A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar sides are very good indeed. Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. How much longer?
Sit down. But not us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that'd be dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the walrus said. Do you admire the view? Sit down.
It seems a shame, the walrus said, to play them such a trick. After we brought them so far and made them trout so quick, the carpenter said nothing but the butter's spread too thick.
Sit down. I weep for you, the walrus said. I weep and sympathize. With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. One more verse. Oh, oyster, said the carpenter, we've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? But answers came there none. And this was scarcely odd because they've eaten everyone.
I like the walrus best, because he was at least a little sorry for the poor oysters. He ate more than the carpenter, though. He held his pocket handkerchief in front so the carpenter couldn't see how many he had took. Oh, well, that was a very unpleasant tale. Now, could you please tell me which way to go? It's getting dark, and I'm afraid it's going to rain.
Don't get wet.
Oh, such dreadful creatures. I'm lost and I do so need help. Oh, so much shaw's been pulled off. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Oh, am I addressing the White Queen?
I call it undressing.
Well, may I put your shawl on for you?
It's all out of timber. I put it here, I put it there, but there's just no pleasing it.
Well, if you pin it all on one side, it's not going to work. Whoa. Dear, what state your hair is in?
The brush got entangled in it, and I lost the comb yesterday.
It's a little better. But really, you should get a lady's maid.
That's very sweet. I'll hire you with pleasure. Tuppence once a week and jam every other day.
Oh, no thank you. I don't want you to hire me. And I'm not very fond of jam. It's just, can you please tell me which way to go?
It's very good jam.
Well, I don't want any today.
You couldn't even if you wanted to. The rule is jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never jam today.
Well, it must come to jam today sometime.
No, it can't. That's not the way it works.
I don't understand.
That's the effect of living backwards. It makes one a little giddy.
I've never heard of living backwards. One's memory has one great advantage. It works both ways. Well, my memory only works one way. It's poor memory that only works backwards. Oh, well, what sort of things do you remember best? Oh, things that happened the week after next. For instance, now, the King's messenger is serving in prison. And of course, the trial won't start till next Wednesday. And the crime comes last fall. But suppose he never commits the crime. That would be all the better, wouldn't it? Well, of course it would be all the better. But not if he was still being punished. You're wrong there at any rate. I know. Ow, ow! Oh, have you cut your finger? Not yet, but I soon shall. When? When I go to pin my shawl again, the pin will come and gun it. Oh, no. Oh, wait, let me help you with it. Maybe that will cut your finger. See, that accounts for the bleeding. Now you understand the way things work around here. Oh, I'm glad it's getting light out. I was afraid night was coming. It must be nice being able to be glad in every life. It is. Except, not here. It's very different, and that makes me sad. Oh, don't be sad. Consider anything, but just don't be sad. Consider how old you are. I'm 7.5 exactly. I'm 101, 5 months and a day. I can't believe that. Can't you? Well, I can't believe impossible things. When I was your age, I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Well, I hope your finger's better now. Oh, much better. Better. Better and bread. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter! Wait, I need directions!
My dear, I won't.
Then stir your stars! It's Humpty Dumpty. It looks exactly like an egg.
It's very provoking. Oh,
Well, I said
very.
you looked like an egg. And some eggs are very pretty, you know.
It's some people have more sense than an egg.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Now the last line is far too long for poetry.
Don't stand chattering to yourself. Tell me your name and your business.
My name is Alice, and I'm crossing the chessboard to become a queen.
Alice? That's a stupid name. What does it mean?
Well, does a name have to mean something?
Of course. My name means the shape that I am. In a very handsome shape it is to be. With a name like yours, you might be any shape.
Well, why do you sit on the wall all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me. Did you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask me another.
Well, don't you think you'd be safer on the ground?
Of course I don't. Even if I did fall off, which there's no chance of, the king himself has
To
promised.
send all of his horses and all of his men to put you back together again.
You've been listening to Doris the
No, I haven't. It's in a book. Ooh, what a beautiful belt you got on. What is the bow tie? Oh, I wish I knew which was his neck and which was his waist.
It is most provoking to not know the difference between a belt and a bow tie.
I'm sorry.
It's a tie, child. It was given to me from the White Queen herself.
Was it really?
It was given to me for an unbirthday present.
I've never heard of an birthday present. What is it?
A present given to you when it isn't your birthday?
Well, I like birthday presents the best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days a day are And how many birthdays have you?
1.
And if you take 1 from 365, what remains?
Well, 364, of course.
That shows that there are 364 days when you might get an birthday present. There's Lori for you.
I don't know what you mean by glory.
Of course you don't. When I use a word, it means what I choose it to, neither more nor less.
Well, the question is whether you can make words mean different things.
The question is, which is to be mastered? Impenetrability, that's what I say.
Well, if you're so good at describing words, could you please tell me what the poem Jabberwocky means?
I could if I choose. I could explain all the poems that were ever invented. A good many that haven't yet. But instead, I'll give you a piece of advice.
Thank you.
Listen carefully, because this is very important. I sent a message to the fish. I told him this is what I wish. The little fish's answer was, "We cannot do it, sir, because..."
That's your advice?
The important part is coming. Then someone came to me and said, "The little fishes are in bed." I took a corkscrew from the shelf. I went to wake them up myself. But when I found the door was locked, I pushed and pulled and kicked and knocked. But when I found the door was shut, I tried to turn the handle, but...
Is that all?
So my advice is... Run! Run for your life! What is the Queen of Hearts? Run!
Well, Alice, this has come to a very unfortunate end for you. But not for me. On with their hands!
Stop! I command you to stop!
On with their hands!
Rabbit, help!
Alice, please still.
Help!
Stand.
All hail Queen Alice!
What?
All hail Queen Alice!
Hip, hip.
Hooray! Wait a minute!
Hip.
Hooray!
This must be the 8th square.
No!
Yes, you crossed the chessboard, and now you can do what you like.
Oh, I never thought I'd be a queen, if I really am a queen.
I invite you to Queen Alice's dinner party this afternoon, and I invite you, Your Majesty.
I didn't know I was to have a dinner party at all. But if I am, should I invite the guests?
Well, the guests have already been invited, and we must hurry before they fall asleep.
I know how they feel.
So sleepy. Oh, she's tired, poor thing. Smooth her hair, lend her your nightcap, and sing her a soothing lullaby.
Oh, I don't have a nightcap with me, and I don't know any soothing lullabies.
Oh, my ears and whiskers. We're going to be late. Come along, your royal majesties.
We messed over soup and the fish! Bring on the mutton! I drink to Queen Alice's health!
To
Queen Alice's health! Well, my girl, I did give you a bite. I was hot on your heels from square to square. I was determined to chop off your head before you ever set a crown on it. But it's too late to remedy matters now, so you may go safely home whenever you like.
Now that we drank the cup, we ought to return thanks in a neat little speech.
To Looking Glass Land. Now let it be said, I have a scepter in hand and crown on my head, glass creatures, whatever they be, come and dine with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me,
So fill up your glasses as quick as you can.
and sprinkle the table, buttons, and bread.
Cats in the coffee and mice in the tea.
And welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3.
With 30 times 3, with 30 times 3, and welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3.
Oh, looking glass land, I beg you draw near. It was a favor to have you, and an honor to hear. It was a privilege mine to have dinner and tea, along with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me.
So fill up your glasses with syrup and ink.
And anything else that is pleasant to drink.
Mix sand with the cider and wool with the wine.
Welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9.
With 90 times 9, with 90 times 9, and welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9.
I know that soon I will wake up in my chair by the fireside with a small black kitten in my lap, knowing that all of this is a dream. But I will never, not ever, forget my magic time at Wonderland.